Wednesday with Lunch with the Doc. As you can see, we're joined with a very special guest, Mr. Chuck Patterson, and of course your host, as always, Dr. G-Love, in his nice blue royal flowery shirt. And I am also sometimes a co-host. My name is Raya. Welcome. We're at Asada. What's up? Kind of over this. So we're gonna get some awesome Mexican food. We're talking about generosity today. Brought Chuck along because he is an extremely generous, amazing human, and he has some good stories about it. So we're just gonna bring this guy along and get some food going. So how you feeling?
Very generous. That's what's on me.
So been here a couple times. Check out their menu. It's amazing.
We're wanting to tell our whole community about Asada and how great this place is. And so we're doing a little Facebook Live today and showing them your menu and letting them know that
Showing them your menu, man. Yeah, dude.
so we got to look over the menu. And look at that menu. You already put then you know, okay?
Crispy calamari. That's it. Hands down. I'll take that. I'll take crispy calamari all day long.
What are you guys thinking?
Oh, I don't know, man.
All looks so good.
Crispy calamari. Asada bowls are kind of good. Raymond's hangover burrito, just because. Even though I went to bed at 9 last night. No. But you know.
I was gonna say, I didn't see.
I thought a lot, so maybe I have like a thought hangover.
Oh, listen.
That's not true. That doesn't make any sense either. What are you gonna get, G?
I'm going to get the fish tacos, lettuce wrapped. And I'm thinking about just getting a Caesar salad along with that.
Sounds good.
What sounds good to you?
I'm gonna do a Mexican Cobb salad.
Mexican cob, huh? Oh, grilled chicken breast, queso fresco, roasted corn, pico de gallo, guacamole, crispy romaine, crispy onions, chipotle ranch, or what are you gonna get, poblano or ranch? Gotta go Pablo.
Yeah, I think Pablo is called.
Poblano dago.
Hablando.
That looks pretty good. No egg though.
No, it's not.
That's usually like the signature cobness right there, right?
That's so true.
Yeah, usually what's about the cob is the egg. Oh, these things are kind of cool too. You get these massive freaking, and then your like little name goes in there, and then they put it on your. Have you ever seen one of these this big? That's
Those things are like killer on your ears.
that's a killer on your.
Do you ever like?
It doesn't feel that.
Oh wow, you guys look amazing.
What if you're just rocking down the street with these
Dude,
two
what
on?
two?
So sick.
And then one right on the nose.
Yeah.
It's a new thing. It's organic.
So organic.
There are acupuncture points in there. You're stimulating something. Whoa. Take it out.
Acupuncture stimulation. Who knew, man? This is such a versatile thing. Bleeds in acupuncture too.
It's got a good vibe in here. Got full-on surf plates going all the time. Nice fresh food. They just reopened this. They used to be right on the ATH down by the saloon. Black. Right. How are you? Good. How are you? Good. All right.
Is there any questions so far about the menu?
No, I think I'd like to do 2 fish tacos with lettuce wrap instead of corn.
Right, figure that out. You want any mahi, calamari, shrimp, salmon?
I'll do mahi.
Mahi.
And oh yeah, I see. Then I think I'll just, that'll be enough.
Who's this, everybody?
Caesar salad.
Sing it out while you're watching this. Sing along with El Town. That didn't really work. Sing along with El Town. Oh, that was the wrong part. Electric boots.
I'll do the Mexican Cobb salad.
Mexican Cobb is chicken again, my friend?
Yeah, it's good.
Benny and the Jets.
Cream or
See, I nailed that one.
Is that spicy or?
It's not spicy with it with the pepper, but it's very mild, similar to bell pepper.
I'll go calamari taco, calamari taco and chicken enchilada.
With that, do you want to do refried or black beans?
Refine. All day.
Anything for you?
I'll do 2 salmon tacos with lettuce wrap. And then no like cheese.
Cheese.
What's going on up there?
No
Longboard Central.
Longboard, boogie boards, toes to the nose.
We don't have sour cream. We have across the cream. Is that okay?
Oh, prostate. Who's that dude?
Has some sour cream in there.
Chris Delmore. She leave.
Do it on the side, maybe?
Yeah.
Who's riding a door? Oh, Ross doggy. Didn't you treat Rostovich for a while?
Yep.
In Hawaii?
No, he was here.
Oh, really?
I think we'll just go water.
You guys want to sit outside or inside?
Doesn't matter, wherever.
Maybe we'll set anything else like grab the over here.
Alright. Look at that, man. That thing's awesome.
Sounds. Thank you so much. Alright, we'll film now.
So what'd you get?
I got the salmon tacos, lettuce wrapped. Yep.
Oh, is in the spirit of generosity.
Chuck is buying lunch.
No way. So generous.
Might as well start off
Yes.
fresh right off the
Oh
bat.
wow. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, you want to do? We could do if she sat here. We could put 1, 2.
Perfect.
Maybe we go here like this. And Mo, why don't you get down one more there, and we can try to get. All right. This is going to be fun.
Beautiful.
You're going to be able to eat lunch too?
Have you been here before?
I haven't. No. I went to the other one, but I haven't been to the new one.
He thought it was downtown still. So when we left, that's why we're a little late today, because we came down and we're gonna walk like across the street from the office, but it was down the road now. They had moved locations like that. Boom. Look at that. I think Chuck knows a thing or two about that way.
It's like full on.
Code red swell, I think.
Look at this. Look at that.
Nobody wants that thing.
Wow.
There's a picture of Chuck in our office on a stand-up paddleboard surfing chopu on a big, thick wave like that. What's that like?
It's, well, I was a little younger at that time, so no, it's such a rush, but it's like, you know, you go to a place that's not really home, and like anything, you take your time and you're always scoping everything out, and you're kind of a visitor, so you know, and I was extremely nervous. So I went and body surfed it for 3 hours before to really feel like part of, so I knew the reef and everything. I got a lot more confidence, and then from there, after your first wave, you know, and it's not like I pulled in super deep. I just kind of, you know, rolled the shoulder on a west, you know, swell, and then, you know, came out, and I'm like, just that first wave to get that confidence, and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, it's just the whole uncertainty of how that first
Is
wave
it like
gonna be.
extremely shallow, that reef?
It is, yeah, it can be. I mean, it's
Depends on the tide.
yeah, but the reef is super alive, so it's like anytime you touch the bottom, it's like paper cuts, and it's like razor blades. So it's that's the scary part. And then, you know, every now and then a set will come through, and a guy will get super pitted, and you see the boats and stuff. The guy's screaming, and then you know, every now and then some guy will come back and then just all bloody, or his whole back is bloody and he's sitting on the boat. So it's always a little nerve-wracking. Like you want to go deep and get a sick barrel at the same time you want to not go to the hospital or do the line bat, so to speak.
The line bat, yeah. Isn't that the way to help keep them from getting stabbed?
Yeah, that's like their way, although I heard it's not really good for your body, but it's basically the line, you can squirt it on there and then you have to scrub it in the cuts, and it is the most painful burning sensation ever. But what it is, it's almost like bleach, and it just, you know, it kills everything. It does, yeah. So.
Did you have to do that?
No, I had it on my arm and shoulder one time.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that bad, but I remember Garrett McNamara on the swell, we were all there, and he pulled in kind of deep, and there's no way he was going to make it. And he skinned his legs, like both legs, top to bottom, all the way around. Totally skin off. And I remember we enjoyed scrubbing the heck out of his legs with a lime, and then we had to wrap it with cellophane for 2 days, you know, so it wouldn't get like the flies that we got.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, that's what happens in Tahiti, right?
so
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gnarly just watching Chopu and how big and how gnarly the wave is.
Look
It's
at
just
that.
like, turn around quick.
And being backside.
All right.
is just-
Yeah, crazy. All
So
right.
if you're wondering why we're not even looking at the camera or you, it's because there's a TV right behind us that is playing
It's got us rather captivated.
death-defying, like sub-zero, below sea level, like 20-foot deaths,
Code red.
lead trainers, and people are falling over, and
Yeah.
we're getting a slight enjoyment of
Donating
being in
blood,
the safety
giving.
of a restaurant while watching people give
Well,
all
you know,
you can.
since we're talking about giving, you giving yourself some real adrenaline rushes over the years, haven't you?
I have, but
Speaking of giving, segue.
yeah, I mean, in that respect, it's been, but you kind of don't really look, I don't know, I don't look at it like that. I think I've just been really lucky to choose that path, you know, from my parents being really athletic. And then it just became one of those things that was like your everyday, like to go ski and you know, getting into surfing and everything. So just, to me, was like, you know, like for someone just walking on the beach, it was the same kind of thing. And then you're always, as an athlete or whatever, we all have it in each other to push the limit or see for ourselves how far we can go by watching, you know, some of the best guys in the world doing it, or girls, and that's where the fun begins. And then you kind of figure out, you know, your limitations and how far you can go past it. And then, you know, sometimes we deal with injuries, which, come see these guys.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing to see the extreme sports that you've done. I mean, going off of 100-foot cliffs on his snowboard or skis or what have you, and 70-foot waves and jaws. And I've seen pictures of him. I mean, if you want to get a thrill, just go to Chuck Patterson and put images, and you'll see the kind of stuff this guy does. And it's a good friend of mine, Mike Skelly. He was the one who introduced me to Chuck, and it's been great to be able to, you know, he's got to take pit stops every now and then and start taking care of the body when he's got some issues. Oh, nice.
You guys are fast.
Yeah, they are. So, you know, we chose, thank you so much.
Ooh, that looks good.
Yummy.
Sauce inside for
Thank
you.
you.
Any other hot sauces, things like that for you? Still got a few
Sure.
more plates coming.
Yeah, any hot sauces you got?
Right now.
Mango, like, yeah, full on.
That looks really good.
That looks really good.
You may need a couple more.
So, you know, we were thinking about what would be fun. Usually we do health topics, and we were able to have Chuck come along, and the idea before we knew Chuck could make it today was to talk about giving, paying it forward, what are the benefits of giving and helping other people, and we'll talk, you know, more about that. But the opportunity to have Chuck here too has been fun, because not only has he been an extreme sport guy and basically sponsored most of your life, right? Doing everything from kite surfing and extreme skiing and competition skiing, stand-up paddle racing, big wave riding. I mean, have I covered most of them?
Yeah, kiteboarding. Yeah.
So, but the thing, what else he does is he gives a lot to others and mentors young athletes in terms of what it's like to be a professional athlete. And I just wondered if you could maybe talk a little bit about helping people transition from where they are into them being their best and what you have to give them in terms of, you know, helping them to see what's possible before your food gets here.
I mean, for me, it's been basically, you know, growing up as a...
Wow.
Lovely.
Where were we again?
What was your question?
Well, just, you know,
I
what
mean,
are some of the things you want to give to others to help them kind of believe in themselves and what they can do and what they can become with their, you know, career and all that.
I mean, for me, growing up, being in sports and having a family that was super supportive and allowed me to kind of follow my passions was kind of how it all started. And for me, as I got older, I understood more and more how lucky I was and am, you know, and I'd see, you know, through my travels and stuff, you know, you go through like third world countries or whatever, and you see a lot of people that don't have even a fraction of what we have, or the ability to do things at a high level because of either money or that they don't have that there, you know, and so for me it was kind of a humbling experience to, you know, with traveling to kind of see everybody and learn that. And then so when I come back, as I got older, I'm so much more, you know, into giving back because I've been super lucky, and I know that it's not everybody gets that opportunity. So it's been probably the most gratifying thing, you know, to be able to enjoy what I've done, but then now be able to pay it forward and share that experience or help someone that's down on their luck kind of see a brighter day. And it's, you know, it doesn't have to be money, it doesn't have to be anything material, it's just your time. And sometimes it's just throwing a smile at somebody and letting them know, hey, we're all friends here, we're all together, and you know, there's so many different ways of paying it forward and giving. And honestly, it's that feeling you get, you know, back is 10 times more than what it is when you balance it out of what you've given. You know, you sit there and go, wow, I spent 5 minutes of my time, you know, helping this person with their groceries, or basically helping this you know, guy, you know, kind of see his potential, and it was really nothing, you know, and but for them it was huge. So that's just a really neat thing, and I'm always learning, and I learn, you know, I mean, you guys do so much for the community, and you've helped me a lot, and I think being around people like that, it just allows you to continue what you're doing, and at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much you're making, it's how you feel and what you've given back, and to see the joy of other people, you know, allowing to do things that they never thought they could do with the simple, you know, concept of you just being there.
Well, you know, Chuck and Jeff Booth were the ones who really taught me how to stand up paddle surf, and Boothie was the one who, you know, said, hey, why don't we go out for a paddle? And I said, you know, I suck. I went out one time on a layered board that was, I completely fell off every time. I was just floundering. It's like, whoa, I'm falling all over the place. And then Boothie said, well, why don't we go out? I said, I suck. He goes, well, that's just because you don't know the 4 basics. And I go, the 4 basics, I think I'd like to know about that. So he took me out, taught me. It wasn't long after that Chuck says, hey, why don't we go out for a surf with Mike? And we went out at Oak Street. It was firing. He taught me how to paddle out, get through the whitewater with a paddle underneath my chest. And then he gave to me a vision of what's possible to do on a stand-up paddleboard, watching him surf. He comes down, does this big bottom turn, comes up, gets his board vertical, slashes back, completely back horizontal, and then continues on. It's like, what? What the heck? That was on a stand-up paddleboard. It's like, oh my gosh. So he gave me a vision of what's possible. Not that I've ever come close to doing what he does on it, but he's given me the opportunity to learn to have fun on a stand-up paddleboard and catch good waves. So that's fun. That's fun. So one of the other things I want to talk about is the warm salsa that came out that I'm going to pass around here. I'm just going to put a little dabble of this green hot salsa on there.
So why do you think generosity is good for your health? How does that bleed into your physical body?
Well, there's an endorphin rush. There's studies that show that when we smile, it actually changes our physiology. It changes our emotional state. If you're frowning, it changes your physiology. So there's chemicals released, hormones released in us that create moods and changes in moods. There's something about doing something just from the goodness of your heart and the kindness of opening the door for an older lady, or like he was saying, helping someone in with their groceries. Or you look at movies like Pay It Forward and you see what one person did, and instead of that person who helped someone else, instead of that someone else doing something back for them, they just now do that to someone else, and it's this trickle-on effect that continues going. Like, let's say you're standing in the line to buy a coffee in the morning, and you just pay for yours, but you also pay for the person behind you. Say, hey, by the way, whatever that person's gonna get, it's on me. I'm taking care of that. And then people start doing it all the way down the line, and nobody paid for their own coffee, but they paid for the person behind them. So it's kind of contagious, and it feels good. So we have a bunch of quotes. I'm going to have Raya read some of these quotes off so that I can eat my lunch and you can hear him talk.
So I was just like talking to G about what we were going to talk about today, and I was looking at some cool ideas on the internet, just like importance of generosity, read a couple cool articles, and then you can obviously find just tons and tons of content about any idea you obviously wanted to research. So I found some really good quotes about the importance of generosity. One of my favorites is John Bunyan, classic legend of American history. He says, "You have not lived today until you have done something for someone who can never repay you." I thought that was powerful. And this one, Francis of Assisi says, "It is in the giving that we receive." So I feel like for people who are in that position of to be able to give, oftentimes it's easy for us as Westerners to be quite materialistic in our understanding of the world and our worldview, wanting to kind of like hoard more than we give. But when we actually enter into generosity and enter into like giving as a lifestyle, we recognize that we are far more fulfilled and made whole really in our giving than simply keeping all our possessions and hoarding them. I feel like, you know, in my personal life, the more I've like sought to like keep my things, the more I felt empty, and the more those things didn't fulfill me. I mean, like look at anybody's closet. I mean, if you go in their closet, it's like all these things that we thought we were going to be fulfilled by the next latest trend, that jacket that you wanted, those shoes that you thought were just going to make your life that much better. 3 months later, it's like, okay, what's the next pair of things? You know, what's the next shoes I'm going to get that fulfill me? It's like those things are fleeting and can often just leave us just as dissatisfied as we were before we got them. So when we are able to like step in and give something and give those type of shoes away, or buy a pair of shoes instead of for ourselves, it's like we're like all of a sudden we're like, wow, I got to bless that person, and that interaction and that relationship as a result of that gift totally drastically changed my life. And now, like St. Francis of Assisi said, like I received so much more by giving than I would have if I just held on to that possession. And it's so true. I mean, your heart, it's your heart. Just the way that you feel, it's a far better gift than hoarding what it was that you couldn't.
And sometimes you don't even know until you give.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you don't even know that
It's hard
feeling.
sometimes.
Yeah, and you're like, you know what? And it's after where you go, wow, that felt really, really good.
Yeah.
And then you see the smile on that person's face or what it did for them, and you kind of go, man, that felt better than anything I would have imagined, and then suddenly you're all, going to do that again, or there's times where you don't even think twice about it, and you're all, because we get so caught up and wrapped up of like, oh, I gotta have this, and that's this, and, or you go on a trip, and oh, I brought this, and oh, I don't have anything extra, and at the end you're all, dude, we're alive, we're able to go on a trip, you know, we're healthy, we're with good people. Oh, dude, here, take the shirt. Yeah. You know, take the bar of wax. You need a leash or whatever. Because at the end of the day, we kind of forget sometimes that we have all that. And then especially now, I mean, talking about this and, you know, with all the hurricane stuff and everything going off, and people that have living in full devastation where they have no house, no nothing except for whatever they took with them. When you think about that, here we are in beautiful Laguna Beach, you know, eating good food, and you know, what do we have in our cars? You know, extra shorts, surfboards, you know, or look at our garage, and like you said, with clothes. It's just like simple things of just giving that kind of stuff that we take for granted. It's just another way of giving, but you know, allowing someone else to still enjoy life, which may not be at the level that we have it, but for them, it puts a smile on their face.
You know, some of the most generous people I know are some of the wealthiest people that I know. And it's like this interesting thing of like, you know, what goes around comes around, give and you shall receive. I can think of many people in this town that are so generous, and so generous with their time and their smiles and their words of encouragement and their pocketbooks. I don't know if I should mention names. I'm not going to mention names, but you probably know a lot of these people too, and they just they're just all about making a difference. Especially they know they've been blessed, and they just want to make a difference in other people's lives. So it's pretty cool. There were a couple other things that Raya you found on here. Now, does John Bunyan have any relation to Paul Bunyan? Sure. Okay. Sure. The teachings of generosity are an important part of the Native American life, as shown in our early American Thanksgiving stories. Later on, there was a chief, Luther Standing Bear, was a chief notable in American history as one of the first Native American authors, educators, philosophers, and actors of the 20th century. When he was chosen to be chief, there was a great celebration in 1905, and he said, I started giving away things I had brought along, he said. I kept this up until I had given away everything I owned, and my wife and I walked away with practically nothing. Sharing the teachings of his people, Standing Bear said, generosity is a mark of bravery, so all Sioux boys were taught to be generous. So that's pretty neat. Generosity is the most natural outward expression of an inner attitude of compassion and loving kindness, and that's from the Dalai Lama. Jesus tells the story in Luke 10:25-37 of the Good Samaritan who gave time, resources, and skill to meet the need of a man who had been left for dead at the side of the road. The Samaritan makes himself vulnerable and available, the very definition of hospitality and generosity. They're usually closely linked. And in today's culture, we see more and more that generous givers want to give of more than just their financial resources, especially true of younger givers. They want to give their feet on the ground with the causes that they're supporting. Volunteering with an organization you're passionate about is a great way to find a deeper connection of the cause. And sometimes, as in the story of the Good Samaritan, the opportunity is right in front of you without you having to search for it. Just jump in, whatever you should give, money, time, skills, and see what God will do in both your life and through your life. And then you want to read the one about the easy. All right.
So wait.
Yeah.
So what are we doing next week?
Great idea. So we have our Community Appreciation Day, which we do 2 to 3 times a year, and that's a day where we just give away healthcare. We give away consultations, exams, B12 shots. We give our IV nutritional therapies at a greatly reduced price. We also do foot detox baths and consultations regarding stem cells and blood chemistry. My wife, Dr. Lisa, I call her Mama Lisa, she's doing some courtesy consultations and kinesiology testing. Some women are bringing in their makeup and being muscle tested to see if they respond, bad to their makeup. Some people are allergic to the makeup they're putting on and they don't even know it. They're just very inflamed. So that's next Thursday at 12 o'clock. If you call our office, 497-2553, you can find a time for you to come in, bring your friends and family. Love to meet you and give to you. And then also we have 3 different charities that we're allowing people to donate to or helping to donate to. One is School Power. The other one is called the Julie Roth Foundation. It's a foundation that helps make healthcare affordable for people who have cancer that can't afford the care. And then the last one is for a combined effort with the hurricane and the flood. And we have a company here locally that's helping to disseminate funds to people that need help. So even if you can't come on Thursday, you can call the office and make a donation, and we will direct it however you would like it to go. So that's next Thursday. That's my favorite day. It's September 21st, and it's from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock. And if you call, we can reserve spots for you and take care of you and give you all kinds of stuff. There's a goodie bag for free. People have donated, a lot of businesses have donated to it as well. So that's next week. That's our day of giving. And that's always my favorite day of the year. I remember one day I adjusted 103 people that day, all for free, and people gave donations. Wow. So it was a really fun day. That was my favorite day of the year. So
sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I think we kind of, you could dive definitely a lot deeper into generosity, but we hit a couple really good points, I think, and I think the takeaway from this lunch is be generous, right?
Mm-hmm.
What ways, maybe, take a sit down, think about it, how you out there can be more generous with your time, with your resources, what people need it, and why you should give it. So,
who you can find something good about and tell them one thing you like about them.
There you go.
One thing you like about them. Just an encouraging word.
That's true, because you never really know what kind of day that person had. And to give them something like that, just a little booster. I always like that when someone says something nice about you, and you kind of go, wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Because our words are so powerful.
Yeah.
And I read somewhere that every word, if we could consider every one of our words a gift, how much better the world would be. If we thought about our words as gifts.
Yeah.
Like every one of them could be a gift to someone instead of like a stab or a sarcastic remark or something like that.
It's very easy to be judgmental and talk bad about somebody, but it doesn't do anything. And then when you pay someone a compliment or just a word of encouragement, that maybe just one single word gets them out of the funk and gives them the old, you know what? I'm gonna give that a shot. That was really good. That's pretty awesome. Yeah. It's like Christmas every day.
Christmas every day.
There you go.
Amen.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week, next Wednesday. And we'll let you know where we're going to be and what the topic is. Signing off. You're amazing.
Yeah.
You're amazing.
No, you're amazing.
You're amazing.
See you guys.